Hey, it's Paul Elliott again. Um, Obviously, during this whole kind of unprecedented times, as everyone's describing as that we're currently in, what I've noticed is that the importance of daily routines has massively exploded in the sense of it is so easy to allow the day to kind of just disappear and just there's so many distractions that could be going on, and yet right now obviously you got more time to focus on the things that are important to you, so that when you come out of this, then of course you're in an even better position to actually leverage and magnify and grow not just your business profits, but also obviously enjoy a better quality of life and be a better expression of who you are, if that kind of makes sense. So I've written down a few notes on what I've been thinking about over the last few days and what's come out for me really by really sort of digging deeper into the routines that I follow, and I've been refining them and shaping them. And what's been great about this, and I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, is that because we got so much more time available, then I've had more time to think. And thinking, of course, as Henry Ford said, is the hardest thing that anybody does, which is why so few people do it. But I think when you apply your mind to doing more thinking for the purpose of gaining clarity around what's important to you and also what you need to be doing to deliver the goals that you want to achieve, whilst we're all in lockdown, whilst we can still keep moving forward, then this is kind of what's come out for me. So first of all, why do you need routines at all? Well, absolutely. I think you probably already know, but it's worth repeating, worth reinforcing. Consistency is the key to success, because all success is a process. There's always a lag time between action and result. Like, you don't go to the gym once, do the lift all the way to say, that's it, I'm done, I'm Arnie, I don't need to go anymore. It's a process. You don't cut your calories today and see an instant change in your waistline by tomorrow. It's like, it just doesn't work that way. So there has to be this kind of compounded effect, and you want that compounded effect to be working for you. And the only way you're going to get that is by doing the right actions consistently. And the only way you're going to do the right actions consistently, actually execute, actually implement, is to make them a habit. And the only way you're going to make them a habit is to turn them into routines. And that's why routines are so important. Now, of course, throughout history, if you've gone back through, looked at autobiographies of some of the most successful people, whether they were business people, whether they were military type people, generals, emperors, and so on, you notice a theme of daily habits, daily practices. I know myself, in martial arts, karate, the only way to get better at anything is to repeat the same things over and over and over again. And so you do that on a daily basis. Or certainly when I started out, I was training 6 days a week, and I did that for about 10 years. So doing it daily, doing it right, repeatedly, even the same thing repeatedly, meant you got better at it, because of course you're developing more strength, you're developing more connections in your nervous system between your brain and your body, so you got more control over your body. So again, it's that compounded effect, and that's what you're after. So my suggestion is focus on the process. Now, what I'm not going to be talking about in this video is what are those actions, because of course, if you've set your goal, you've developed your plan. But what I will do is share some of what I believe should be some of the key actions that you need to be focused on in terms of maintaining your sanity whilst you're in lockdown, and also in terms of growing your business, and of course, maintaining your physicality. So let's talk a little bit about that. So big frame for me, big thing, which you may have heard of before, is this whole idea of, freedom through discipline. So habits, daily routines are the discipline, and you want to do them often enough. And if necessary, what I would suggest is, if you break your day down into morning, day, and evening, then within those 3 major chunks, you want to be thinking, what are the 3 routines I want to cover? And how do those routines relate to the goals you want to achieve? And how do they relate to the quality of life you want to lead? And those are the questions you want to be thinking about. So in your morning routine, for me personally, always start with my journal. So, my morning routine, literally, get out of bed, go make some coffee, give my wife a hug. That's part of my morning routine. So hug and a kiss, start the day in a way where we've got some connection, in case obviously the rest of the day takes over, we get distracted and we don't get that opportunity to have any kind of connection during the day. We make sure that we're doing that in the morning deliberately. So that's become a routine. It's a habit, and it makes an impact because it connects you again. Because what we have found in the past is, when we didn't have those kind of deliberate small actions, then it was easy to go a week without ever really spending any quality time together. Does that make sense? And of course, if you're doing that, then the relationship isn't growing, it's dying. I'm a big believer in this idea from nature that things are either growing or they're dying. So you want to put those things in place. So that's a simple routine relating to relationships. Then I'm into my journal. So I'm working on myself. I think the most important work you do, that I do, is working on ourselves. If I go back to Marcus Aurelius, his whole journal is talking about this being expressed in the highest version of you. And the highest version of you isn't static. It grows, it develops. So how do you become the highest version of you? You dig deep into you. And I found that, I'll give you an example, even yesterday. So yesterday I was reviewing the week. And as part of my weekly review, I was digging into questions around my online business and how it's had to change and how things have had to move forward because of what's going on for us. But out of that came even more clarity around what I want over the next sort of 5, 10, 15 years, which of course is a direct reflection of me. And there's that sense of when you really drill into something, and this is why I treat pretty much everything as a personal development journey. Like business is a personal development journey. On some level, it's a spiritual journey because you're looking to serve others, but you can't serve others without growing yourself. Does that make sense? So journaling, massively important. So as I say, I'm like going into this, I'm looking at my business. So from the outside, you can't think, well, he's kind of writing about his business. He's asking questions about his business, but it isn't, because wherever you go, you're always there. So actually what came out of it was me growing, was me recognizing that I could express myself at another level. And that was important. So the hardest work we do, working on ourselves, make sure that's in there as part of your daily routine. And that a moment of silence, obviously I've got other videos on journaling, go check those out as well. But that moment of silence spent with yourself, vitally important. It is, and getting more, more philosophical. If you look in evolutionary terms, and I only thought this yesterday, if you look in evolutionary terms, then, our brain is wired predominantly for survival, not to make you happy, to help you survive. So you got this whole thing of fight, flight, or freeze whenever you face any kind of danger. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is if you meditate, if you sit and get silent. So sitting, being completely silent, learning to let your thoughts just disappear. I personally get into this place where there's this energy of bliss flows through me. Where's that coming from? Because that isn't coming from a survival place. Does that make sense? It's coming from a blissful place, from a place where everything is taken care of. And journaling is another expression of that. And I believe that's where you develop your highest self. I think that's where all your growth really comes from. Because growth doesn't come from a survival mindset. Growth comes from a thriving mindset. And journaling is a way for you to tap into that and draw it out. Anyway, if you want more on journaling, obviously check out my other videos. But start your day with journaling. So what have I talked about so far? Relationship-wise, give my wife a hug, a kiss, and then get into the journaling. So I'm working on me, which is then expressed across my business, expressed across everything that I do. Now, in terms of your business, right now, you're in lockdown, you've got the internet. That's it. So then it's really about how are you growing your audience? How are you growing your visibility? That's the key at this moment in time. So everything I'm saying to my clients is, look, now use this time to grow your visibility. If you're going to use LinkedIn as a platform, get on there, develop your network, start commenting on other people's posts, get out there, write posts of your own, share insights, share stories, share a little bit about you, but use this time because that's what you've got the gift of, time. Use it, get out there, build that audience, because when this is through, and I've mentioned this before, but I can absolutely guarantee when this is through, human beings are going to want to come out in force. They're going to want to connect with other human beings. They're going to want to get together again. They'll want to continue their plans. And maybe their plans have changed and maybe some of the goals have become more important. But certainly if you're in the real estate business in any way, whether you are sourcing for other people, helping people develop a portfolio so they've got financial freedom, there are going to be people right now going, I need to put that in place. Suddenly their financial security, because of what's happening, it's really brought it home to them how important that is. So if you're building your visibility in whatever way that you choose to serve, then of course you're going to be able to reach people, help people now. And then when we come out of this, you can really explode that because those people will be turning to you directly for the help because they know what you do and how you can help them. So make the best use of this time of your visibility. Now, how do you make that a routine? Well, interestingly enough, I was listening. Rob Moore was on a little video clip that I was listening to yesterday, and he was talking about podcasting specifically, and how one of the big concerns people have, or one of the big objections people have when they think about starting their own podcast, is not having the time. Of course, not having the time right now, that's not an excuse. You have the time. But more importantly, it's not do you have the time. We all still have 24 hours a day. We always have had, always will have. That's not going to change. But more importantly, it's like, what are you going to do with it? And so a routine, if we talk about, I've just said, build your visibility. Rob mentioned this idea of, every morning, 8:30 a.m., his time, he goes live. But that's a routine. And that's a routine. That's an action to develop visibility. That's an action which is, obviously, if you're doing it every day, is consistency. And that's an action which is developing a habit which is compounding his visibility and growing it. So I would suggest to you that part of your morning routine is grow your visibility. So do something, whether it's video, whether it's a post, but do something to grow your visibility. Put it in the diary, so specific time, whether it is 8:30 or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, it doesn't matter what time it is, just sometime in the morning. I would highly suggest it's way before 11 o'clock. So before 11 o'clock, make sure you have done whatever you need to do to grow your visibility. Putting this video together, yes, I'm pretty much, it's impromptu to a certain level, but I made a couple of notes and then just went live. It's like, get into the habit of doing that. Then, thirdly, third part of your day, exercise, of course. You want to maintain your mental health, your physical health. Like right now, with the children, with my little family, then every day around about sort of 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we all go out. So I take everyone goes out. We go out to, there's a football field nearby, which is completely quiet. Nobody's using it, but it's open access. So we go there, and they've also got a basketball court. So we play basketball, we play a bit of football, but we kick around. So I'm giving my children outside time, helping this, and also exercise time, helping this. So within your day, build in a specific time where you're going to exercise. Now, again, this came out. So I was talking to, I think it's Millie, I think her name was. Anyway, I was talking to Millie yesterday, and she was talking about how a friend of hers runs an online training business. So he's a personal trainer, a fitness trainer, and his business has exploded now. And it's like, of course it will, because people at home turning more to how do I stay in shape, or all of a sudden recognizing I've got the time to stay in shape, so I can start small and build it up. You could come out of this time in way better shape than you've ever been in your life. You could be in the best shape ever if you choose to use it. But what I am suggesting is make sure in your day, part of your routine doesn't have to be morning. I know for a lot of people, getting up, having a quick coffee, writing in the journal, the next thing they do is go exercise. I don't personally do that, but I do exercise in the day. So I make sure during my daytime that I map out, usually between 12 and 2 o'clock, exercise. That doesn't mean I'm exercising for 2 hours. It just means sometime within there, I make sure I fit in 45 minutes of exercise. So I'm suggesting to you, whether you make it part of your morning routine, part of your day routine, I suggest not part of your evening routine, because of course, exercise is firing off all sorts of things that might keep you awake at night. And at night, you want to chill out, relax, and eventually go to sleep. So I would suggest morning or day, make part of your daily habits exercise. Mind-body connection, the better shape you are here, the better shape you'll be here. So again, fit that in, make it part of your daily routine. So do that, do the thing, do the hugs, do the kisses, but make it all part of a routine. I mean, ultimately what I'm saying to you is commit to a higher game. You have got this time right now to really drill down, decide exactly what you want. That's going to be part of your journaling. Decide exactly how you're going to reach the people you want to serve. Again, that comes out of thinking and journaling. Put that in as a routine, a daily routine, a little bit every day, a little question every day, a few answers every day. And even oftentimes in my journal in the morning, I might write a question based on a problem that I'm facing and not have an answer straight away. But of course, as soon as you've turned a problem into a question and written it down, what happens? Your subconscious goes to work on it. So then the answers will come out through the day or the next day, but they will come out and then you can capture them again in your journal. But raise your game, commit to a higher game. Develop your daily routines. Build in somewhere there that you are journaling, working on yourself, that you are in there doing something physical so that you're developing your exercise, doing something deliberately to grow your visibility for your business. Even if you don't have a business right now and you're watching this, but you're realizing actually you want some sort of side business, you want some sort of online business, build your audience first. If nothing else, build your audience first. So grow your visibility. Just start thinking about, okay, I want to be doing in this sort of area. I want to be like, I want to help people with their mental process, their physical process, in terms of having a better quality of life. That's my big thing. And so I'm always coming up with different ways of clarifying, getting nuances on how I help people do that. But just pick a topic you want to focus on and just get started building your audience. Do that now. Make it a routine, make it part of your daily habits so that you have an extraordinary quality of life now and a better quality of life even further beyond this. So get doing that. Any questions? If you've enjoyed this, give me a like, give me a share, give me a comment. Actually, I would suggest, or I would ask kindly that you share it with somebody in your life that you believe would benefit from hearing this as well. Leave me a comment below, leave me a like, and I will catch you in the next video.